low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. We're back with more The Hobbit spoilers for Magic the Gathering. First off on our list for today, we have Down in the Valley. Green and 2 for an enchantment saga that says, search your library for basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Then chapter 2, this saga gains landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 1/1 green elf creature token. Chapter 3 and 4 say elves you control get +1/+0 and gain vigilance until end of turn. So hoo-ha! This is all about the story of how the party went into Rivendell. So next up is Dwarven Mauler. Red mana for a 2/1 dwarf warrior with equip abilities that you activate to target this creature costs 2 generic less to activate. So, war weapons for dwarves. We have Head of the Hunt. 2 black and 2 for a 4/3 wolf with flash. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. Okay, so more of the wolf ferocious synergy that we've seen previously. We have Mirkwood Pathmaker. This is an interesting card. At a green and 2, you get a star elf ranger, where Mirkwood's Pathmaker's power and toughness each equal to the number of land you control. So, good in elf decks, good in landfall decks. Hoo-ha! Not unhappy. And with that, that forest entrance card, that thing can get really big, really fast. So hoo-ha! Next up we have Cantankerous Keepers. So it seems like a bit beefy for a green and 5 for a 4/3 elf soldier, but it has affinity for elves. When this creature enters, you mill 4 cards and put all elf cards among them into your hand. So, kind of like a mini elf tutor, and more elves are always better. Next up we have Dane Ironfoot. A red and 2 for a 1/4 dwarf warrior. When he enters, you create a colorless equipment artifact token named Axe. With equipped creature gets +1/+0 and equip 2. When you do, attach it to target creature you control. Whenever Dane attacks, each equipped attacking creature gains double strike until end of turn. Yeah, this dude is a fun dwarf commander. Hoo-ha. And if you're playing, the dwarf storied / equipment theme, yeah, you're gonna have some stuff going on. Next up, we have from the box toppers, we have Arwen, Weaver of Hope. Now, yes, she was an uncommon in the original Lord of the Rings set, but listen to what she is. She's a 2 green and 3, and 2 green and 1 for a 2/1 legendary elf noble. Each other creature you control enters with a initial +1/+1 counters on it equal to Arwen's toughness. Now, what do we know that we recently got that would pair with Arwen? Can you say Captain America's shield? I mean, oh look, it's a 2-cost shield that equips for 2. That you can equip this on Arwen, and look, she's at 2/9, and all the creatures that enter now have 9 +1/+1 counters on them. Excuse me? Next up, we have another super powerful uncommon card. Now, this is Beorn's Hospitality. For those of you who haven't understood who Beorn is a very large shapeshifter that turns most often into a bear. And we've already seen his bear form already. But his home is a welcoming place. He keeps bees, he farms. He just wants to be left alone. He's the last of his race because according to lore the orcs of the north destroyed all of his folk for fighting in games and whatnot, forcing them to shapeshift into their. So, Beorn's Hospitality is a green and 1 for an enchantment with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Now, we've seen this in, Final Fantasy with Ride to Shoepuff. But for that same amount of 2 green and 5, this enchantment becomes a bear in addition to its other types, and this creature power and toughness each equal to the number of lands you control. Oopsie! Again, the forest entrance thing. It's like, yes, more lands, please. And because it's a bear, it automatically, if you're running with Beorn, it automatically gets the +2/+2 that Beorn gives to every other bear. So, yeah. Then we have Misty Mountains Raider. Kind of, it's okay, and a red and 4 for a 4/4 goblin soldier. Whenever you attack, you amass goblins too. Okay, so this guy just makes goblins. If you had the army, he makes it bigger, or if you don't have the army, it makes it 2/2 goblins. So I'm not unhappy with it. We've got the other Arwen from Lord of the Rings, the Mortal Queen, which is the actual mythic one, which is a white and a green and 1 for 2/2 legendary elf noble. she comes in with an indestructible counter on it. And you can pay 1 to remove the indestructible counter, and another target creature gains indestructible till end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on that creature, and a +1/+1 counter, lifelink counter on Arwen. So, yeah. Give Arwen the mithril coat and give the +1/+1 counter to somebody else that needs it. And they get lifelink as well. So here is Sauron the Lidless Eye. Black, red, and 3 for a 4/4 legendary avatar horror. When he enters, gain control of target creature an opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste till end of turn. And you can pay a black, a red, and 1. And every time you do, creatures you control get +2/+0, and each opponent loses 2 life. So this could be abused badly. We have Bard's Company, which I'm now seeing that we're going to have a cycle of companies for each archetype. We already saw the one for the wolf, the wargs. So white, a blue, and 2. You get a 2/3 human citizen. But you may cast this spell as though it have flash if you control a human. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. When this creature enters or attacks, you recruit. So, hoo-ha. Next up we have Galleon, Elven King's Butler. 2 blue and 2 for a 4/4 legendary elf advisor. Whenever Galleon attacks, you can choose one other target creature you control. Its base power and toughness become equal to Galleon's base power and toughness until end of turn. So in an elf deck, you can make one of your little elf tokens a 4/4. Hoo-ha! Again, from the box offer sheet, we have Blast March of the Ents. 2 green and 6 for a sorcery that can't be countered, and you draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control, then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Yahoo! Then we have Roll. Excuse my yawning. Which is a blue and 2, has 4 chapters that say exile up to 1 target creature or land you control. If you do, turn it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, I didn't see that before. It's not. I thought it was just creature, but it's creature or land. So, landfall triggers. Why not? More landfall triggers. Because Cynic landfall is a thing. Next up we have from the box toppers is Bilbo's Ring. So it's a legendary artifact equipment for 3 generic. That during your turn, equipped creature has hexproof and can't be blocked. Whenever a creature attacks alone, draw a card and lose a life. You can equip a halfling for 1 or anybody else for 4. Next up is the first spoiler that was revealed today. The rest of them were over the weekend and after I made my last video. So this is Glamdring Foehammer, which Gandalf got in the Troll Horde. So this is probably the most interesting equipment we've seen yet. At 2 generic, you get a legendary artifact equipment, but it has an adventure on it called Gleam of Death. A blue and 3 for a sorcery adventure. You mill 6 cards and put all instant and sorcery cards from among them into your hand. Well, you know, Gandalf and wizards, you know, there's the Isn't Wizards archetype that's in this set. And then on the equipment side of it, you have instant and sorcery spells cost X less to cast, where X is equipped creature's power, equipped for 2. Now there's all sorts of stuff you can do with that. So this reduces your cost of your big spells that like omnipotence or some of your extra turn spells way down. So yeah, this card is gonna be fun. And you're playing this in a Spellslinger deck? There's stuff like Kefka, some of the Gandalfs. Yeah, this is absolutely not gonna be fun. But there's even more fun coming up. Next up is another crazy card in inside information. There's insider trading in Magic the Gathering. For 2 black and X, you get a sorcery that says exile the top X cards of target opponent's library. You may play those cards this turn. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. You get to steal stuff off your opponent's library. Yeah, you got to pay life for it, but if you got something, if you're playing, if you're playing creatures or something from the top of their library, and you've got like a Whip of Erebos, yeah, this thing is going to get abused. Yeah, it's sorcery speed, but still. Next up is another crazy card in Wizard Staff. It's only a rare, by the way. So for a blue and 1, equipped creature has prowess. And if an ability of equipped creature triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Equip wizard for 1 and equip anybody else for 3. So again, and I was hoping they would do something with a wizard staff. And now you can throw it in all your Spellslinger deck because it's not a legendary thing. So you can throw it in a Gandalf deck. You can throw it in any other wizard deck. Again, I was talking about Kefka earlier. Hoo-ha. you know, even Saruman can use this. So yeah, you can do stuff. So I'm going to hurry up and get these last few done because we're over 20 minutes. Got Relic of Sauron, which is an artifact from the box toppers. Tap it to add 2 mana of any combination of blue, black, or red, or pay 3 and draw 2 cards and discard a card. So, hoo-ha! Now this is Wilderness Exploiter. It's a green and 4 for a 3/6 wolf, because that's what a wolf is in French. And it says whenever this creature attacks, while you control a creature power 4 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. We have Great Ugly Looking Goblin. A black and 5 for a 4/4 goblin soldier that has a sorcery adventure of Clap Snap. That allows you to amass goblins too. But his regular side says each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on has menace. So if you amass the goblins, those goblins have menace. So hoo-ha! Well, that's it for right now. We're over 21 minutes. We'll see you on the next episode, the next video. Hoo